Hey, it's Grant here from the Wargamers. Just a bit of a painting update on the progress I'm doing for my Eldar, for my Aeldari, for new edition, new army. As a lot of you know from the intro video, that I chose Aeldari because it was quite a very short jump from Drukhari, which is my main competitive army, and I started painting some Harlequins a while ago, and yeah, they're looking good. I'm enjoying painting them. Again, quite a similar style. I'm trying to get away from just doing box art, which is what I seem to do above average, if I'm honest, and do maybe a bit more kind of weathered, a bit more battle torn Aeldari with the Wraithbone being a bit more degraded actually, and I'll show you some close-ups in a minute, but I've gone for quite a light Wraithbone scheme all over with sort of battle damage and things. I think in the lore Wraithbone grows quite quickly and it seems quite polished a lot of the time if you look at the imagery, but I'd like to imagine that maybe this is mid-battle with chips and paintwork and things being blown away, and just grub and grime from being in the desert or fighting on whatever craft world they're defending, basically. So it's just sort of pushing the painting beyond the great edge highlights in that way. So at the moment, I think I've done some Dire Avengers again in the classic blue. I got some Fire Dragons in the classic orange. Done loads of Striking Scorpions, but with griminess on them. And I'm just working on the Banshees at the moment, which are good. Also did some what are they called? Wraithguard, actually. So I'll get them out here. You can kind of see here from the, let me just get that a bit closer there. They're sort of a little bit degraded, probably out of focus there. A little bit degraded type imagery there. Rob gave me a hand by building them all as well, and I painted them a little while ago. So quite enjoyed it. It's a little bit different, I think. So, and then here's sort of one already done Banshee, and here's one to be done Banshee. So we'll get there with that one, but I might just do a quick zoom in a minute and show you kind of the weathering technique, sponging that I'm working on. But otherwise, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's a good fresh army to work on. Lots of colours, which is great, and just sort of dulling them down with things like streaking grime and stuff like that, which is good. I add the caveat to that is the Harlequins. They have been a pain in the ass to paint. I've gone for, I think I said in the intro video, I've gone for the Shattered Mirage troop for Harlequins, but I added like a green, I don't know if you can quite see it there, like a green and red checkered pattern in there, which was fun initially when I first started doing it, but then doing it on the inside of coats and things was less fun, and now I don't want to do more than 10 of them. Basically, so I think I've shot myself in the foot, but I'm quite interested in playing that. But there's so many options with Eldar. I think all the model ranges are really cool. So I don't know, I'll get all the aspect hosts, I'll get some Guardians. I think Rob is currently building me some Warp Spiders, which is really kind of him, so I can get those done as well. But I don't know how they play. I played against them, of course, they're really janky, but I'm used to that with Drukhari. So, but I'm just interested in a new project, really. The one I will be interested in, see how this kind of sort of Wraithbone pattern with a bit of a wash over it, and then sort of layers of damage goes on to, say, the vehicles that they do, or the bikes. I haven't got any yet, but I'd be interested to paint a Fire Prism in that scheme, or a Wave Serpent in that scheme. I think it'll be really cool. But yeah, I'll just show you a quick speed update of the damage that I'm doing on the Banshees, and we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. So to do this sponging weathering technique, I'm going to actually just cut a little bit of, with some angles on it, basically a little bit of just an old sponge. As you can see here, there is some battle damage on the Wraithbone, and that's what I'm going to try and do on this model, basically. So I'm going to use Catagen Flesh for this because it contrasts quite nicely, and it's quite a flat matte brown, contrasts quite nicely against the Wraithbone. I'm just going to pick my sponge up with a bit of angle to it, so there's quite a sharp angle there, so I'll get that corner just there. You can just see that. Dab it in, dab it off as much as possible, and you can kind of practice and see that it's kind of coming off fairly well, like that. And again, look, test it on the base, see what you think of it on the base, and you want to catch some edges just like that, really. Put a bit more paint on there now. It's probably a bit too much, but we'll give it a go. Let's go for the face. There you go, just a bit of scoring on the face, back of the pack, some on the arms really, shin blades, feet, just to sort of break up that ubiquitous cream colour that is, in my opinion, too perfect for the grimdark of the future. I always laugh when I see, Space Marines. I think it's notorious that I'm not the biggest fan of Space Marines, but when they're all highly polished, mid-battle, it just seems a bit... I mean, they look great, obviously, with the edging that people do in them, put into them, but the realism, I think, is just a little bit lost. And I did look at that with elves as well. I thought, hang on, surely they can't be that perfect whilst being shot at and stabbed and this kind of stuff. So putting a bit of just... Can't see that from my thumb there. Just a bit of damage in the corner there. Turn the model over. Can't quite see that. A bit more there. You don't want to get too crazy. Again, I think sometimes less is more, but it's just wear and tear where sort of explosions and shrapnel have caught it. Maybe on the shoulder pad if I can get that. And now is a good stage to do it after I've done some kind of basing as well, because otherwise you'll end up doing this all over the model. But that is it basically. But I'll send you a full picture of the Unit of 10 when they're done. But yeah,